Now, as a team prepares to enter their offseason away from team facilities, quarterback and former MVP Lamar Jackson is deciding to treat this offseason like the regular season has already begun.
It's really not offseason anymore. For us, I say, we just got to keep grinding and stay in shape. We can't, go backwards right now because we already had our fun and did whatever we did, during the regular offseason. Not this time. It's straight go mode right now. The season is here.
All right, go mode it is for Lamar Jackson. Hopefully the rest of the Baltimore Ravens feeling that hype as well. Now, I love his attitude. He's hungry. The Ravens are hungry to get yet another playoff berth, this time hopefully getting their eyes to the Super Bowl hosted here in Los Angeles. Now, which team or player do you guys think needs to be in straight go mode for the 2021 season? Kyle, kicking it off with you.
Yeah, when I look at Baltimore, they got this amazing quarterback and this great veteran head coach that any season where they just go to the playoffs and not the Super Bowl feels like, well, it was a good season. But, and I look at that now the way that every single year seems to be for Seattle. I feel like Seattle with Russell Wilson is now just this B-plus student, and they do pretty well, but they never really get the A. Like, look up the last several years for Seattle and how their season has ended and how that's gone. Okay, so last year, wild card loss, divisional, wild card, missed the playoffs, divisional. That's all great. You're in the playoffs. Some years you're winning a playoff game. I just wonder if that's it. Are they bumping their head on the ceiling of this Russell Wilson Seahawks thing? Because I got to tell you, 12-4 last year, losing the wild card, an instantly forgettable Seahawks team. The history will not remember the 2020 Seahawks. The most memorable play from the 2020 Seahawks season was a red zone interception thrown by Russell Wilson because it led to the DK Metcalf rundown. That's it. And then they lose in the playoffs to a Jared Goff Rams team. That team that had already given up on Goff was practically shopping him. So it's good. It's really good. You're in the playoffs. You matter. But are you really ever, does anybody have any confidence that the Seahawks are going to get to the NFC title game this year or win it? Russell, all the offseason stuff, the trade demands, allegedly that I get hit too much. Like, this has to be a year where it's not just one of these unforgettable years. Make us remember the 2021 Seahawks. The only way you do it is you get to the title game at least.
When I hear straight go mode, I think, you're coming out of the gate and you're hitting the ground running. Unlike me with this show today, coming off a week's vacation, but that's okay. I'm starting to get my legs underneath me a little bit. I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys and this 2021 season because you're getting Dak Prescott back. And remember, everybody talked about how well he was playing last year and the drop-off once he went away. Well, he's back and he's going to be healthy. So this offense needs to get back to what it was doing with Dak Prescott early on. Now, they need to go straight go mode in games as well. They can't fall behind in games like they did last year. And when I look at the schedule, you better be ready and you better be in straight go mode right off the bat because you start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFL season opener. Then it's on the road to the Chargers. And then you've got road games after that against the Patriots and the Vikings. So this early schedule is going to be tough. And look, it's not that they might fall behind in the division because the NFC East, I still expect it to be a little bit weak. But I think there's going to be questions about Mike McCarthy and his ability as a head coach, which I don't have, but folks are going to have them. And I think there's going to be questions if this defense doesn't play well because they made additions on defense and they changed the defensive coordinator to Dan Quinn and brought in guys that he's comfortable with. So this team really needs to be in straight go mode from week one. Even if they don't win that game, play well in that game.
Yeah, when I think of go mode, I think of hot seat. I think of pressure situations. And that sends me to Kyle's team, the Chicago Bears, right? If you're looking at the Bears, yes, they went to the playoffs last year, but they've had trouble offensively. You have an offensive head coach, all these different things. And then you trade up to go get Justin Fields in the draft. They're in go mode. The Chicago Bears need to win now. You have the pieces to win. You have an electrifying defense, terrifying defense, monsters of the midway line. You have a running game, a running back that rushed for 1,000 yards last year. You have Allen Robinson, one of the top receivers in the league. You have other pieces around. Last year you had 1,000 tight ends. I think you have like 4 now. But at the end of the day, go mode means saving your coach's job. You are win now mode if you're the Chicago Bears. They have to find a way to start fast. Even though you're starting against my Rams, you have to start fast and finish strong.
Okay, I like the spice with the Chicago Bears. Why don't we take it down south to the 305? It's Tua time for Miami. Now the Dolphins, 10-6 team last season. They were knocking on the door, but now Ryan Fitzpatrick is gone, and they built this team entirely around Tua. They drafted Jalen Waddle 6th overall. They brought in Will Fuller during free agency. The defensive side of the ball is loaded as well. However, this all depends on Tua and his performance. If he can quiet the doubters and be the guy that we saw throughout his career at Alabama, then the Miami Dolphins are going to be in that mix for that playoff contention team that can go on to a Super Bowl. But if he cannot, there's no more Ryan Fitzpatrick to rely on. This is either sink or swim for the Miami Dolphins. There were rumors this offseason. Will Miami stick with Tua? Obviously, they are as we get closer and closer to training camp. I'm curious to see what he is going to be able to do. But my fiance, huge Miami Dolphins fans, he says it's Tua's time. He says the city is in behind him. We just have to see if he can perform without Ryan Fitzpatrick. Finger crossed, Tua. We got your eye on you, my man. Please don't disappoint in this second season.